Hello, I'm Cliff Brock and this is World Travel Plus. We bring those places to you that the travel agents and brochures frequently miss. We hope you'll enjoy these videos. Come with us as we look at some of the hidden corners in our precious world. Tarpon Springs is probably best known for the sponge docks, the last remaining commercial sponge operation in the United States, and the sponge fleet still goes out of the sponge docks out on the Anclote River.
Craig Park is a local favorite. It's got wonderful walking trails. If you're a youngster, it's a haven for youngster play. You can climb, laugh, giggle, and do the kinds of things that kids like to do in a wonderful playground operation. If you're a little older than that and you're looking for a quiet place, there's even a lending library in the middle of the park. Drop off a favorite book and pick up another book that seeks to become a favorite. All are offered in Craig Park. If you're a bit older and seeking companionship, fellowship, games, hobbies, interests, then you'd be interested in the Senior Center. This activity hub for the older set in town is frequented by a good many locals, and really many of our visitors like to come there too. If you're a more active sort, then you might want to look to the tennis courts. We found a couple of guys playing paddleball.
My name is John, and you're here visiting from?
I'm here visiting from Michigan, actually Brighton, Michigan area. And my kids live down here in northwest Tampa. So we come down every winter to visit them for at least a month and sometimes more. And we love it here in Tarpon. We've come to this area probably 4, 5, 6 times now, and we absolutely love it.
What do you like so much about it? We hear that a lot.
Well, first of all, we love the little town. We love the park here, the tennis courts. We stay at Innisbrook, which is just south down in Palm Harbor, and that's a beautiful facility. I play golf, so I do a little bit of golfing down there, and it has everything. So that's why we love it. My wife loves to walk, so she walks in the park area here, and walks around the bayou and watches the Manitou and that type of thing. Or the manatee, I'm sorry.
Yeah, manatee. And you always feel safe and that sort of thing here?
Oh, yes. Very
good,
safe.
good,
Very
good.
safe.
And how do you find the people here?
Oh, friendly as all get out. I mean, they're a nice group of people. And all the shops and everything, they're just very, very nice. So that's also what draws us back.
Enjoying the water? I have not been able to find anybody to ask, but my strong suspicion is that these kayak groups are part of a kayak lesson and how to kayak and so forth. The outdoor recreation, as you'd expect in Florida, is considerable. Find lots and lots of people who enjoy various things on the water, and kayaking is one of the very, very best.
Two of Tarpon's bests utilize the park several days a week, and they do so for a variety of reasons. We ask them their thoughts on the park.
We walk 5 days a week, sometimes 6. We try to get 4 miles, depending on my hip. Sometimes we only get 3, but it keeps us alive, keeps us going.
What do you like so much about Craig Park?
Everything, feeding the squirrel, because we feeding the squirrel every
Feed the squirrels
day.
every day. Look at it, it's beautiful.
Most of the days we saw the dolphins.
Yeah,
We saw a lot of manatees.
stingrays. You see a lot of
stingrays,
wildlife
yeah.
here, a lot of fish. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how long have you lived in Tarpon Springs?
It started
8 years.
2016.
16, yeah.
Okay.
2016.
That's about the same time we came.
Ah,
What do you like about Tarpon Springs?
it's
Love it.
it's small town, but big town. I mean, you're not far away from everything, but it's a small town atmosphere. They have a lot of activities. They have Friday night, first Friday. They got things going on at the sponge docks constantly. So there's a lot to do.
Yeah, and the beach is beautiful.
Yeah.
The idea that the park is beautiful extends to visitors from out of town and out of state.
Kate, and you're from the state of Washington?
Yes.
What brings you to Tarpon Springs?
I have a friend who's spending a few months down here, and I decided, why not come and visit? And I've never been to Florida.
The first time. Well, welcome to the state. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
And you've obviously found Craig Park. What do you do? Do you come here and walk in the day? Or?
I do. I walk, and I heard there were manatees, and that's just been lovely. And it's beautiful here. It's gorgeous. It's not real noisy. It's quiet. I just saw people praying at the monument for the soldiers, and that was very special to watch. And it's just beautiful here.
And how long are you in Tarpon Springs for?
I leave Friday morning.
Oh, sorry to see you go.
Yes.
Have you been to the sponge docks?
I've been there. Yes, we've been doing wonderful eating adventures, and it's been so much fun.
And where did you eat?
We ate at Mama's. We've eaten at Rusty Bellies, and we're going to CC Ryder. And where else did we eat? Oh, Molly Goodhead's. So it's been fun.
Kate and her friend found gustatory delights and great beauty. We found some other intriguing points in the park. The Heritage Center has a couple of standing exhibitions that we'll see later, but it's also a hub for local community groups using the Heritage Center as a focal point for their activity.
Our walk through Craig Park was a delight. We're now ready to explore the Heritage Museum, one of the masterpieces in this little town. It is currently featuring an exhibition by native artist Christopher Still, an artist who we'll have a video on him later, so watch for that as it comes on. He has an exhibition in the studio today, and we have a couple of galleries we're going to take a look at. Join us.
As director Diane Woods takes us through the Chris Still exhibit and a little bit on the history and background of the museum. Diane, thank you for talking with us today. We're looking forward to having you show us the museum and your thoughts. What intrigues you about being the director of a heritage museum?
I love the opportunity to do so many things here. We have two beautiful museums in Cultural and Civic Services Department. We've got this Heritage Museum. We also have the Stafford House Museum. And then I have two performing arts centers, one over at City Hall and then another one at the Cultural Center. So there's always something going on, always something new, but we're just thrilled to have the Christopher Still exhibit here in the Heritage Museum. It really puts us on the map culturally and with the arts.
You consider it a coup to have a Christopher Still exhibit?
Oh, we sure do. We sure do. We've always had his reproductions for many years, and people have loved those and have come in for that. But now we have like 9 originals currently, and to enhance that, we also have a wonderful 30-minute video on the beautiful and historic Tarpon Springs. And we also have, with each of his paintings, Chris went ahead and did a mini video for each painting so people can actually go and hear it and see the artist describing their own painting. So I think that's really cutting edge.
How do we have such a richness in a town of only 23 or 24,000?
You know, I think that's really the icing on the cake, that we can have our small town of Tarpon Springs, but also have the rich history that we do, the appreciation for that history, and then have all of, this exciting, new things that we're incorporating. I mean, I think that's a feather in our cap, because there's so many bigger cities that don't have what we have. So
why should a person from Seattle or Austria come to Tarpon Springs?
Oh gosh, immerse yourself in what we love about Florida. We can give it to you all. We have the water sports here. We have the arts and the culture. We have the history. So really, and also wonderful shopping and fantastic food. So, I mean, you could come to the city of Tarpon Springs and get it all in 1 or 2 days. You can, just really enjoy everything that we have to offer. So I would encourage you. And then there's only one place that you're going to see all those originals by Christopher Still, right here in my Heritage Museum.
Christopher Still is a well-known, around the world really, artist who grew up in Dunedin, Florida, about 20 miles or so south of Tarpon Springs. His work has found favor well around the country. He has a series of 10 huge canvases in the Florida State Legislature. He has exhibits in the Smithsonian, the Governor's Mansion of Florida. He is a real Florida artistic treasure.
This painting's always been very close to me. This is called Come What May, And this was painted during the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. And it was at a moment that I feared the Gulf as we knew it, we might be losing. And so I met this family, the Ericksons, who live in Carabel, Florida. And I went around, I asked them permission to follow them and go around their boat for a period of time doing these studies. There's the mother, the two sons, and the father. There's some other paintings of this in the Appleton Museum in Ocala that are done. Let's see. This was a long time. This was a while back. 1993. And I was trying to add a landscape into still life. And I was also wanting to do this pyramid of citrus. This is 1993. This is 35 years later. And you'll see light behind, and there's the pyramid, and here's the citrus going up, and here's the little, so it's all like building on the same, you know, you're not supposed to touch the manatees or bother the manatees or anything. And in the eye that I painted in that, you can't see it in here because this painting is about 2/3 as large as the original, is bigger, but also since this is a photograph of it, you can't see it. Detail is on the surface of this eye. When I unveiled this in the House of Representatives, I blew the eye up, and the surface of the eye, I painted the interior of the House of Representatives, the room and their meeting, and them on the surface of the manatee's eye. So that it's like the paintings are symbolic of the legislators being watched. You know, things are reaching into. This was done. This is done out of Carey's Fort Reef Lighthouse. You can see the legs of the lighthouse right here, up top. That was I was able to get permission to work at from the National Coral Reef Sanctuary and live on that lighthouse, which is 7 miles off the coast of Key Largo. And I put a mooring buoy on this coral head. So with my paint box, I could do about 3 hours of air a tank. I'd do about 3 tanks a day for a week or two, just sitting on the bottom in front of this coral head.
Well, you've created some, I don't know about sacred canvases, but you've certainly created some canvases that I think people will be looking at for a long time. We really appreciate your time today, and thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I've been talking with Christopher Still, and seeing the work that Christopher has done that's hanging here in the museum.
Well, that's our day in Tarpon Springs, Florida, a quiet little gem in the Gulf Central part of Florida. We hope you've enjoyed the day. This is an interesting little town. It's got lots to do. The people that we've talked to have commented on how friendly the people are, how quiet it is, how pretty it is. And it doesn't matter whether they're from Washington or Michigan or right here in Tarpon Springs. They seem to enjoy this place. We hope you've enjoyed the park. We hope you've enjoyed a peek at Christopher Still's work. By the way, we'll have another video coming, a conversation with Christopher Still, when we talk with the artist in depth about his work. This showing that he has been very popular. Even though it's not really part of the tourist season, lots of people through the park. Please join us again for another video as World Travel Plus looks for those parts of the world that you might otherwise miss. And don't forget, like and subscribe.